Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Elsevier Engineering webinar series. We're really excited to have you be part of today's event. We hope that you, your family, and colleagues are all safe and healthy as possible during these very challenging times. My name is Mark Petrachko. I am a customer consultant for the corporate West and Southwest United States for the Elsevier Engineering team. It's my pleasure today to introduce Walter Koto, my colleague at Elsevier, who will share with us some insights today about engineering management, specifically Six Sigma, Lean, and Agile work environments with Knovel. Just as a point of reference, if you have any questions during the presentation, please use the Q&A poll to ask your questions, and we will answer them at the end of the session. But before we get underway, I'd like to launch a short poll. And if you'd be so kind to answer 2 quick questions, we'd be grateful. Wow, great. So we've really got a mixture here, a heavy dose of people who are familiar and those who are seeing it for the first time, and also people who are familiar with Six Sigma. So thank you so much for your response. And without any further ado, Walter, please take it away.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us today. I hope everyone is having a good day. And today we're going to have a quick discussion about engineering management within Knovel. And like Mark said, more specifically, Six Sigma, Lean, and Agile work environments. And we're going to focus around how you can get the resources that you need for your projects, whether you are at a company or at a university. So with that, if you want to learn more details or if you want to have a much deeper dive into the subject, please reach out to us, reach out to me, to Mark, or to any of your customer consultants, and we're be more than happy to help. So with that, I just want to introduce myself, a little bit about me here. My name is Walter Koto, and I'm an industrial engineer. So I graduated from the University of Houston, and early in my career, I received a yellow belt in Six Sigma. When I did a couple projects in Lean and Six Sigma, either at my company or at the very late stages of my career in school. With that, most of my experience has been in the oil and gas industry. So I worked for a company named Sulzer. And there I worked with the motors, but I did a lot of lean projects where we would really study what our processes were, and we would try to then optimize those processes, saving us time and money. And then I actually moved to Oracle, where, believe it or not, I was using those Lean and Six Sigma, um, um, I guess, experience a little bit more as well, where I was working with small companies. I was learning about their processes, and I was bringing those processes over to our cloud environment. And then that way, we would try to automate and speed up and make those processes easier for the companies as they grow and expand. And with that experience, coming over to Elsevier has been very easy. It's been a marriage between both of those experiences where I'm working with engineers, but I'm working with software, and I'm bringing the software that can help engineers to answer the questions that you have. And with that, I also do enjoy playing and watching basketball. That's, my pastime, I would say. So a little bit about the background of Six Sigma and Lean and Agile. I have a picture here of 2 men that are known to be the co-fathers or the champions of Lean and Six Sigma. So I have Shigeo Shingo, who is the co-father of Lean. And if you've heard of the Toyota production system, yeah, he's the one who started it. He also did things like Poke-Yoke. And for those of you who never heard of that, it sounds kind of funny, but all what it is mistake proofing. And a very simple example of that is a USB-C, where unlike the older USBs, you have to, put them in and plug them in the right proper way. With USB-C, it doesn't matter. You don't even have to look, and it plugs in right easily. And it's the same in a manufacturing plant where things just kind of fit right in, and it removes any kind of mistake that can happen. With that, there's even a Shingo Prize nowadays for organizations that have world-class lean and operational excellence. And then I also have a picture here of Jack Welch. So Jack Welch, you all might know as the CEO of GE for a very long time. And he's also known for being the champion of Six Sigma in the United States. So in 1995, he implemented Six Sigma into GE. And then over the next 5 years, they reported a savings of $12 billion because of Six Sigma. And with that, a lot of companies in the United States started implementing Six Sigma. And to this day, companies still use Six Sigma, like Amazon. You have Ford, Samsung, and Boeing that all use Six Sigma. And one of the quotes that I have up here by Shingo is the most dangerous kind of waste is the waste that we don't recognize. And I can tell you from my time at Oracle and before that, that this is very true. A lot of companies don't realize that they're spending extra time or extra resources with some of the processes that they might not have to. And a good example of this was actually back in my oil and gas days. We were spending a lot of times, our engineers were spending a lot, maybe an hour per engineer, about 10 to 20 hours a week, sending out requests for quotations for big projects. And what happens is the engineers would have to find who to send this request to, and also all the specifications that go to the specific material, whether it's electric motors, seals for seal systems. And it would take up a lot of time. There would be a lot of mistakes. And we had a lean project, we put it in place, and now we were able to then bring that over to an Excel document. And within that Excel document, now the engineer can go in there, select the specific material and what companies they want to send that to. And then that would just prompt an email with the specifications just ready to fill out and all of the emails just ready to go. And it saved about 30 minutes per project. So over, if you were wasting 10 hours a week, now you're wasting only 5 hours a week. It just made that faster. And it's only thanks to lean and to those kind of projects. So with that, what is lean, Six Sigma, and agile work environments? So for this case, we're going to separate lean and Six Sigma. So we're going to start with lean. Lean reduces the waste in the value stream. It provides the maximum value to our customers. Essentially, what it means is you do more with less. So it uses tools like the 8 Waste or 5S to achieve a more streamlined process. So when you think about lean, think about speed. Now for Six Sigma, it focuses on improving the process by removing variations, which essentially improves quality. And in this case, it also focuses around the customer. It uses the DMAIC method, which means define, measure, analyze, and improve and control. And this is going to help with accuracy. So whenever you think about Six Sigma, think about accuracy. And many times, Lean and Six Sigma are both used at the same time. And then Agile. So Agile methodology focuses on the continuous innovation and adaptability. So now the focus is on the individual rather than on the process. So we're moving away from processes here. You're focusing on your working software rather than the comprehensive documentation behind that software. At the same time, you're collaborating with a customer and you are ready for any kind of changes that are come up in the plan. So whenever you think of Agile, think about adaptability. And the main key of every single one of these is that it focuses on the customer. So with that, why is having high quality resources so important to your journey in Lean, Six Sigma, or Agile? And first we have to be able to identify the gaps and waste in our processes. And to be honest, to do that, you have to start with the fundamentals. So without those fundamentals, as your projects get much more complex, it's just going to get more and more challenging. And you can see the same thing happen in sports. So for example, in jiu-jitsu, you rely on your fundamentals more than on your strength or agility. And what that does is that can make a huge difference between a win or a loss. And it's the same here. So now if you are already familiar with, or you're an expert or familiar with Six Sigma, with Lean, then you want to have the right resources to help you to apply these onto your next projects. You want to learn from others and see examples that others did so you can see when to apply it and what to apply. And with Knovel, you'll have access to all of these. So these are some of the resources that you have available within Knovel. You have handbooks, practical guides. So whether it's a Six Sigma Black Belt handbook or the field book for going lean, you can use these books on your next project to help you guide you along and give you ideas or give you understanding what you want to implement next. And at the same time, you have those case studies. So with those case studies, you can search, you can see how other companies have done it. You can learn from their successes or their failures. And in the same way, you can actually look up tool guides. So whether you're doing a value stream map or you're making an experiment, this can help you to create that and can guide you that way. And one of our customer favorites, everybody loves this. And to be honest, when I came onto Elsevier, I was pleasantly surprised to see that Knovel had this is Excel templates or worksheets. So with these can actually help you to implement your Six Sigma or lean projects onto the field. And we're going to go over all of these right now in Knovel. However, before we get into Knovel, let's put our hat on. So we're a brand new engineer coming onto this company, and we are familiar with Lean Six Sigma, but it's been years since we looked at it. So we don't remember the specifics. We don't remember all the details. And our first project at the company is making one of our workstations more lean or making it more optimized. So, our manager tells us, hey, implement 5S to this workstation. So what is 5S? I don't remember. I really can't recall. So Knovel is here to help with that. So once you open up Knovel, you have right in the middle, you have the Knovel search bar. It works much like Google, except this is for engineering. So anything you type in here is going to bring you engineering information. So 5S is what we have the question in, and how are we going to apply this to our project? So as I look it up, everything that comes up is engineering related. So we don't have to spend any extra time. We don't have to double check the information. Everything has already been proved and we can trust it. So you have here pipe properties and components, not really what we're looking for. So Knovel is there to help. You can look at graphs, you can look at equations or definitions, but in this case, we want to learn about Six Sigma and we want to refine by that concept. So you have Six Sigma right here and you're able to click into it. Now everything that shows up is related to Six Sigma. So here you can see that you find the handbooks that we talked about earlier. And this is the way you find it. You just search the handbooks and you'll be able to see all of the handbooks that are available. So I have the yellow, the green, and the black here, coming up first. So being a new engineer, I'm gonna go to the yellow belt. Oh, pressing the wrong link there. There we go. So we wanna learn about 5S. So as this is popping up, now here in just a click, I was able to see that 5S is a workplace organization method that can help improve the efficiency and management operations. And it's the simplest and most practical improvement that an organization or individual can start with. So I'm gonna take a note here. I just wanna come back to this. What's 5S? I'm gonna add this note. And then I can actually see here what each S stands for. So sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Okay, so if I want to learn a little bit more, just keep scrolling and then I have the information for what each one of those does. Okay, so now this can help me to implement this project, to finish this project, and I have the whole handbook available to help me. And the one thing that a lot of field engineers especially love about Knovel is the fact that I can save this to my mobile. So now when I'm out in the field, I'm out at this workstation, I can have this reference ready to go on my cell phone. I can also download and print it and share it if that's what I want to do with my teammates. So now let's fast forward a little bit. We know how to find the handbooks. We have a couple projects under our belt now, and we're starting to do more challenging projects within Knovel, with Six Sigma and using Knovel to help us. So now we want to look up some case studies to see how we can apply these projects. So let's go ahead and look up some Six Sigma case studies. And this is the way you would do it. Just search for the case studies there. And you're going to get over 120 different case studies that are related to Six Sigma. And some of these case studies are great for academic purposes. So if you're a professor and you're teaching your students about Six Sigma, or they're going to have a project that they're going to go to a company and do, this is a great resource for them to learn and to see how others have applied it. But if you're working on your own company for your own projects, this is also a great resource. So in this case, I'm working in a manufacturing floor. So I'm going to look at this case study here. And now you can see that the case study is available. I'm able to take notes like I was before, but I'm also able to save this to my Knovel, so I can have a reference to it at a later place. So I'm going to save this to this lean, and I'm just going to put here, it's going to be a case study. And I'm just going to save this here, and I can come back to this at any time after that. And I'll show you how my Knovel works and how that can help you out. So now I do want to give you a quick tip when you're searching, whether it's case studies or anything within Knovel. You can always search the abbreviated terms. So I'm going to put FMEA here, and you'll get a lot of results. But if you can always get more results or get more information if you actually spell out the whole word. So failure, mode, and effect analysis. Now I'm going to get way over twice as much results here. And when you're searching a novel, it's always just good to search the abbreviated term and also search the full complete word. All right, so last but not least, the case studies, the search in Knovel can really help you out to find these case studies. But one of the favorite resources for engineers are those worksheets we talked about earlier. So let's go ahead and take a look at those Six Sigma worksheets. So we're going to type in Six Sigma. And now we're going to get that option. And Knovel, once again, is helping you out to see what you want to look at, whether it's definitions, but in this case, we're looking for worksheets. So I'm able to just summarize to those worksheets. And you can see that I have over 70 worksheets in Knovel and Six Sigma. So here you can take a look. Most of these worksheets I can't download myself because I don't have Microsoft Project or Visio. But if these are for Excel, then I'll be able to do that. And all I gotta do is click in to it, and as soon as I do, it'll download it to my computer. And I'm able to just pop this open, and I could use this on the field. Now, let me show you a feature that a lot of our customers really like to use, especially when they're using this worksheets out in the field. So if we go back here, now you can save this to my Knovel. And I'll show you where you can go. So once you have it saved, you can actually use this reference. You'll be able to go to the Knovel. And for those of you who are not familiar with Knovel, my Knovel is just when you sign up to Knovel, you're able to create your profile here, and you can use the folders to save information, come back to that information at a later date. So here you see some of the notes that I had taken in the past. You have some case studies that I looked at, but I also have the worksheets available here. So here's a manufacturing quality worksheet that I use constantly as an engineer, and now I can come back to this. I don't have to search for anything. I can use my Knovel to get back to this. So you can see here, it opens it up, and many of these worksheets, they give you the blank cover, the blank body, but it gives you an example, an explanation of what everything is. And once again, you can look this up also in Knovel. It'll help you to fill this out and use these out in the field. Okay, so now you're able to see exactly where to look up for these worksheets. You're able to download these, save them to my Knovel. That's going to help you come back to them and download them as often as you need. And I did want to show you one more thing before we go back to the PowerPoint, is you can always go to browse and see exactly what you have available within Knovel. So most of these are going to be in industrial engineering. So I'm able to go to industrial engineering and Six Sigma and Lean quality management. And most of these handbooks and field books are going to be available here, but this is the way that you can explore what you have available and what can help you out. So let's go ahead and go back to the PowerPoint now. So you saw how easy it is to look up for those handbooks, those practical guides. All you got to do is a simple search within Knovel and you'll be able to get there. Or you can always use the browse feature. And the same goes for the case studies. Knovel's search tool is very powerful. You'll be able to find it by just simply putting that case study at the end of your search. And you would use the same search methods to find the tool guides, whether you're creating a value stream map or an experiment, you'll be able to find that way too. And, my personal favorite, and a lot of engineers love this one, is the worksheets. You saw how easy it is to get to those Six Sigma worksheets. Knovel helps you get there, and you're able to download those, save that to my Knovel, come back to them as often as you want, and use them in your projects. It will help you out. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Mark now. So thank you all for attending. We really appreciate it. Please ask questions in the question and answers below. So Mark.
Thank you, Walter. As Walter said, we're going to be moving to the Q&A, but before we do that, I would like to launch a second poll, a final poll, if you will. And if you'd be so kind to answer these questions as well, it will help us understand better if we've met your needs with the session. But there's also 2 tasks for asking here. If you could answer the questions in the poll and then send some questions into the Q&A if you have any questions. Walter, while we've got a couple of questions that have come in, so we'll start out with those and see if there are more that are populated. So
Perfect.
when you did your search in the case study, and then you searched additionally within, were you searching within the book, or did you start a new search in that search bar?
So that was a new search that I started there.
That was a new search. Okay.
Yeah,
I just
so
wanted to clarify. I didn't want to answer that for you. Okay. Another question. If I don't have the industrial engineering subject area that you highlighted, is that something that I can subscribe to separately?
So that's not something that you can subscribe to separately, but that's something that you will have available within that subject. So if you do subscribe to the industrial engineering subject, that's the way you would get access to those books.
Okay, but you could add that to your subscription if you wanted to, if
Correct.
It was okay. Great.
Correct.
Another question: does Knovel do Six Sigma certification? And on top of that, while being an employee at a specific company, how would you find? Do you know how you would find out if you can get certification within the company?
So to answer the first part of the question, it does not do certification, so you can't get a certification through using Knovel, but it can help you to get your certification with resources that you might find useful. And as far as to get a certification, I would advise anybody to either talk to their managers, most companies have some kind of lean initiative, talk to them and see how you can get it integrated into those teams to start working to get certified.
Okay. And then from what I'm seeing, one last question, unless there's some others that will come in. Can I use these books in my classroom?
So yeah, if you have the books available, just like you can in any other book within Knovel, you're able to just, copy that link and put that into your LMS. And we had a great, last week we had a great presentation about how to do that. So yeah, the easy question is yes, you can, and just use the link to put that into your LMS system.
Okay, well, I see those are all the questions that we have, but you've also given me a great segue here to talk about both upcoming and past sessions. So we will be we'll be having our next session next Thursday, and we'll be talking about standards, but it's actually a very special event. We are going to have 2 expert educators, Margaret Phillips and Paul McPherson of Purdue, on August 6th. and they will be presenting very expertly on standards, on why they matter, and we'll be talking a little bit about how you can find standards on Engineering Village, specifically Compendex. So please do sign up for that. If you don't have access to the link, reach out to your customer consultant or myself or Walter. Our emails are here, and I'll put it into the chat. And also, if you would like a link to recordings from the previous sessions from the past months that we've been doing these, as Walter had mentioned, there was a great session last week on learning management systems. So maybe if you missed that, you may want to take advantage of reviewing the recording. We do want to thank everyone for their time and attention today. And again, if you have any questions, please do reach out to your customer consultant, and we'll be happy to meet your needs in every way we can. Thank you so much for your time today.
All right,
Be
thank you,
well.
everyone.